What's up, job boarders? So last week I sent out a message around Lensa's programs they have for job boards to grow your revenue and grow your audience as well. So today we're just going to just bring that to life a bit in a quick 10-minute conversation. I got my friend Joe Stubblebine here. He's the Chief Revenue Officer at Lensa.com. And Joe, how you doing today?
I am honored to be on a podcast with the most interesting man in recruitment advertising. So it's very good to see you, Chris. You look great.
Just for the audience, just tell them who Lensa is. Give us some background and who you guys are.
Sure. Lensa has been around since 2014. We are a US-based company headquartered out of Philadelphia, and we have a wholly owned Hungarian subsidiary. We've got about 100, 110 people with the company. We basically sell a lot of recruitment advertising products and also buy a lot of recruitment advertising products from a lot of the major job board players around the world. We also have a direct offering as well for employers and staffing firms called Fast Talent. Yeah, we get about 25, 30,000 new registrations every day on Lensa. We've got maybe active job inventory of about 31 million jobs. We send out almost 12 million emails a day and probably about 1 million text messages a day. And we have about 20 million registered members overall. Our audience is only US based. So even though we're, a smaller portion of the US marketplace, I think we're probably growing into a mid-tier player. So we've been pretty pleased so far.
Cool. Well, let's talk about your offerings here for other job boards. We'll start with growing your job board revenue. So you have Connect to Lensa, and you have an affiliate program there. So, what can job boards do with these programs here?
Yeah, so I
What
think
types of job boards are you looking for as well?
Yeah, I think on our we call it our sell side, obviously our sales side, we work with a lot of different job boards. A majority of our revenues from job boards do come from either clicks on jobs, whether that's CPC or CPA based. But we have a pretty robust co-registration program, which is we're probably one of the largest co-reg sellers in the space. So if you're a new job board or a job board that's looking to kind of grow your membership database, because we know it's all about membership, sending out alerts, engaging with job seekers, and trying to make sure that you're putting the right jobs in front of them. Co-registration programs are great. It allows you to increase your registration on your job board. And we have the ability to filter. So if you're a healthcare job board, or perhaps you're only trying to grow in 5 states, or you're looking for, warehouse pick and pack, forklift, we can target those campaigns. And as job seekers register and go through our reg path, they also have the option if they'd like to join your job board as well. And when they do that, we can pre-ping you to make sure you don't already have the user. And if you don't, then we can push that user into you via API or webhook, and then you can start engaging with that job seeker because they've consented to join your job board from our registration path. And those prices typically are, around 25 cents to $1, $1.50, depending upon the niche and the filters. But we help a lot of job boards grow their memberships, especially when you have folks that are coming outside of the US that have decided to make US their market. It's a great way to just very quickly build your membership database. As you know, Chris, a lot of people buy cost per click advertising for the purpose of converting into a registration. And you might be spending anywhere from 25 to 50 cents a click, and maybe it takes you 10 clicks to get one completed registration. Co-reg is much more efficient because it might only cost a quarter, and you've got the job seeker. You're telling them that, hey, thanks for joining from Lensa. And then you start sending them jobs and all the various things that you offer as a job board. And it's a really great way to grow your membership database. Setup's a little more complex, right? Because you have to have an API and be able to accept the records into your system and be able to adequately measure downstream ROI of those conversions. But co-reg is definitely an area that we obviously buy a lot of co-reg as well. And we also
You guys work with any of the job board software companies? Do you have any clients that use external job board software? Any of
we
that?
not we usually get individual buys from the job boards themselves. If the job board software, if you're using, WebScribble or JavaQ or one of those type of companies, some of them have APIs available. Most of the folks that are buying our co-reg have their own self-managed job board or have purchased software that has an API backend to be able to push in those leads. Or we can also distribute to Google Spreadsheets. And some companies actually use Zapier and just go in there every 5 minutes, grab the records, and then move it into their system on the back end. So there's a multitude of ways that we can connect. And our team is pretty adept at that and how to do that. So.
And if you're not a job board too, you can also leverage part of this affiliate program too, right? If you're a career coach or some other type of
Yeah, so the Jobs Connect program and the affiliate programs, those all sit on our buy side. So that's when we're writing a check to obviously our publishers, and we buy from probably 80 different sources. Obviously, a affiliate we use has offers, and we pay out through Tune. That is a straight CPA deal. Typically, we start around $1.50 or so per registration. We also have Lensa Connect, which we have an API available. Some people don't want to deal with XML and processing XML feeds. A lot of the media companies outside of the job board space prefer JobSense or Lensa Connect, which allows people to instantly sign up, plug into the API, pull jobs, augment, make backfill, and of course, your dashboard shows you how much we pay you, and at the end of the month, we send you a check. We also have a web widget where career coaches or maybe smaller entities want to be able to just plug in a nice little widget, HTML, and everything's ready to go just to augment revenue. Most of our partners on the Lensa Connect side use the API because it's a little more robust. But if you're a career coach or even a smaller publisher that has some traffic, but don't want to do a lot of work on the integration, I think that's where the widget can certainly help.
Yep. Gotcha.
And then, of
If
course,
I
I mentioned how we sell co-reg, but we also buy co-reg as well. We buy SMS co-reg, we buy double opt-in SMS co-reg, regular email, job alert co-reg. So I think in all areas we're looking to acquire more customers on our sell side and be able to expand our CPC sales and our co-reg sales. We also have some data sales that we do. But on the buy side as well, we're equally aggressive in trying to find new partners. We add anywhere from 10 to 15 new partners a month. Of course, after testing, you only have 2 or 3 that back out well, but we are actively looking to both buy and sell in the space. And even for upstarts, if they're not even ready yet, we love just chatting with new job boards and just kind of helping them along the way and
Yep.
growing their presence in the United States as well.
If a job board wanted to buy traffic from you guys, what's the setup process like there? Just explain that a bit if you could.
Typically, if a lot of people are using ClickCast because it's really considered a third-party neutral click counter in the space. So if they have a ClickCast account, they just simply sign an agreement with us, give us a budget, and then generate their feed from ClickCast and provide that to us. We love that because we have a lot of ClickCast customers, super easy, and then we'll agree to bill off the ClickCast figures. So there's no disputes with regards to numbers and valid clicks and bots and expired clicks and things like that. If they're not a ClickCast client, then typically they would produce an XML feed for us. We process that. We bill off the Lensa dashboards, and customers have full control on Lensa. They can start and stop their campaigns at any time. They can change their monthly budgets. We can also set daily caps for them if they want to make sure they pace their spend throughout the month. And we have we buy both on an LTV and an arbitrage basis. So we can blend our traffic mixes, which will be our native audience, plus some external distribution through our arbitrage programs to try and get the right mix. What we're trying to do on the sales side is align with the customer's conversion metric. They might say, hey, we need a $5 application rate, or we need a $120 conversion rate into a registration. So if they can give us feedback on conversions too, that is always great because then we have a two-way conversion so that our team of analysts can optimize what we're buying both internally and externally to make sure that the clients that we're selling to get traffic that aligns with what their cost goals are.
Nice. All right. So we can go to sales@lensa.com. Just send an email there to get started and learn more.
Sure. Or just joe@lensa.com or hit us up on LinkedIn. Yeah, we'd love to have the opportunity to talk to anyone that's interested. So
Awesome. Put that in the show notes there. And before you go, Joe, I wanted to talk about your, let's reminisce a bit. I know Joe for many, many years from his days back at jobcircle.com, which was a local mid-Atlantic job board. But tell us just how you got started in the business, Joe.
I was actually an IT consultant back in 1996, I think, or maybe I started in 94. It's so long ago, Chris, I can hardly remember. And then me and a couple of friends were sitting around one day and we were like, oh, we could build a job board. So we built a job board and we had 47 users. We were so excited at that time. And then we got a recruiting award in Philadelphia. And then eventually we expanded out and grew that business. And obviously, we were doing large scale job fair events, 19 of them a year, a couple $1 million a year just in job fairs. Started a print magazine in Philadelphia called Hired Magazine, and sort of used the job board, the magazine, and obviously the career fairs to really elevate the brand. And then, of course, um, we merged actually with jobnet.com, and Ward Chrisman was the CEO of the company at that time, and merged those two together. And then eventually we were acquired by beyond.com at the time, which is now Next. Everyone knows Next in the space. Yeah, so I had been with Next for over 5 years, and then met our CEO Gergo, who's Hungarian, incredible guy, super smart. And I've been with Lensa now for 6 years. So I've really only had 2 or 3 jobs in this space, even though I've
Yeah.
been in this space quite a long time. And of course, I'm very active on TA Tech and in the board of advisors there. I, like you, have always loved being in this space. It's been just a fun ride as well. And I've loved watching you, Chris. I mean, you always have the most interesting, innovative ideas and thoughts. You truly are the mad scientist of recruiting. So always love the opportunity
Awesome. Well, it's great to reconnect, Joey, and put your information there on the show notes. But thanks again for joining us here.
yeah. Thank you for having me, Chris. I appreciate it. Thank you.